Hola, hello, and bonjour, my beautiful animation fans. Yes, I'm doing the Warriors 20 questions, despite having no one tag me. I'm doing it because I want to. Stick around to the end and I'll tag a couple people to do one of their own. I also want to preface this by saying that I have only read the first 3 arcs, and the supers related to the first 3. I'll do an update when I get around to the full series, but honestly I've been putting it off. My beloved faves can't die if I don't read it. On screen right now I'm coloring my map part for the Worst in Me map, hosted by Silhouette. I couldn't do any actual animation, since my pen's battery died after only 3 maps. It has a weird battery size, so I couldn't do any actual animations until I got a new one. But I can color with my fingers. This was actually kind of irritating though, since the lines were so shaky I had to constantly try to fix the tiny little holes in my line art. But anyway. Number 1. How did you get into Warriors? I remember it very well, actually. I was in 5th grade, reading A Dog's Life by Anne Martin. Still my favorite book, by the way. When this girl Shelby, who was a twin in my class, tells me about Warriors, since she asked if I liked animal books. I went into the school library and took the first book home, and the rest is history. Number 2. Favorite arc? 1, without question. Cats died, and it had weight. Things related to other things so much more tighter, and it felt just more realistic. As realistic as cats in the woods with magic medicine and confirmed afterlife can be. Number 3. Favorite book, excluding mangas, super editions, and novellas. I think it has to be either the 5th or the 6th book in Arc 1. I love Blue Star's arc towards the end, as well as the build-up towards the Blood Clan battle. Favorite super edition? It's a tie between Crooked Star's Promise and Blue Star's Prophecy. I loved the tragedy of Crooked Star so much, but gun to my head, I would have to say Blue Star's Prophecy, because it's just a smidge higher due to nostalgia. It was actually the first super edition that I ever read. Favorite clan? Favorite clan? It changes between River Clan and Wind Clan, but I would have to say River Clan. It just seems so much more interesting, and it sucks that we don't get to see a look into the other clans too much, except for in the supers. Number 6. Favorite character? This is a difficult question. I have so many. I would have to say Crooked Star. I really sympathized with him when I read his super. I guess he's always gotten a soft spot in my heart. Least favorite character? Ashfur, or Mapleshade. Either one. I think Ashfur was a whiny cat that deserved the Dark Forest, and Mapleshade... Oh, we'll get into Mapleshade. Number 8. Most aesthetically pleasing cat. This question is weird because we all have our own thoughts on what the cats look like since the Warrior series is a book. So, I think I'm going to base them off of the designs that I've drawn. My favorite cat design so far is Barley. I love the little heart on his cheek. Favorite leader? You'd expect me to say Crooked Star, but no. If I have to say Tall Star or Sun Star, the cat before Blue Star. Blue Star is very dear to me, but I feel like she's everyone's favorite. She was just awesome. So why Tall Star? Well, duh, he's gay, like me, and he also ruled for so long. I just love him. I also like how Sunstar ruled his clan even with just one less life because of Pine Star's decision. I think that it makes him an incredible leader. I would have loved a mini novella about it. Favorite villain? Come on, it's not a contest. Tiger Star. He was the OG big bad. And yes, Scourge was stronger and more dangerous, but the entirety of the build-up of Tiger Claw becoming an antagonist and eventually a leader was just great. It was a multi-book arc that just... I love Tiger Star, even though he's a bad guy. And I hate him, but I love him, you know what I mean? Okay, number 11, favorite medicine cat. Leaf Pool. I like her story arc and her personality. I also ship her with Mothwing, and in my head canon she's bi, so I'm a little biased. Haha. Sorry, that was awful. No more jokes, I promise. Okay, there's a little rant coming up, but number 12, overrated character. Mapleshade. Oh my gosh. She was stupid and didn't care about her clan. She didn't think through her actions and got her kit to drown. And then she goes on a murder spree? No, I hate how she lied to Oakstar and the clan and justified it to herself because she didn't actually say that Birchface was the dad. She dug her own kit's graves, and everybody is just glorifying her because she's the only female villain. She was stupid. Just wait at the riverbank or by Sunning Rocks until the River Clan patrol comes. No, she was stupid, and her kids died because of her own fault, and she refuses to take responsibility, and she actively blamed other people, then murdered them. She murdered a medicine cat. She murdered, she's not a good cat. Why does everybody glorify her? Then after she dies, she has to mess up the lives of the cats who have nothing to do with her. It's like anytime something goes bad in ThunderClan or RiverClan, it's her fault. Not to mention the stuff that she did with the mess up with Crooked Star. My poor baby Crooked Star. And she killed Spotted Leaf! Like, permanently! I hated that was a thing that could happen. The permanence of StarClan was supposed to be something, but no! It was supposed to mean something, and the Errands ruined it. Huh. Anyway. Not a fan. Number 13. Number 13. Underrated characters. Goosefeather. I don't see enough love for this cursed boy. I have seen a few nice maps, but the majority of people seem to have a lot of hate for him. He was cursed to see the terrible things that would happen and was powerless to stop it. I also may or may not have an AMV in the works for him, so keep a lookout for that. Number 14. Favorite minor character. I really like Myler from Maple Shade's Vengeance. Can you tell which book I read recently, by the way? I really like Myler from Maple Shade's Vengeance, but I also really like Mousefur. I don't know if you'd count her as a minor character, but I adore her in Longtail, so I'd have to say Mousefur. Side note, they are a ship I thought was heavily implied in the books. Yeah, they didn't have kits, but they were elders. I shipped them. They were so cute together, always having, like, banter, and I just imagine them in StarClan. You know, Longtail has his eyesight back, and they're both, like, young, and I don't know. Maybe they're taking care of some kits that, like, died young. I don't know. Anyway. Favorite pairing. Not a competition. Barley and Ravenpaw. I love those two. I just think it's so cute. Ravenpaw, like, comes into his own, and, you know, Barley, he has a backstory too, and they're both so developed, but at the same time they're not, because it's like, I don't know, all of their development is kind of like in my head canon because of, like, little tiny things, you know, little hints and stuff. I have all these story arcs for them. I don't know. It's just my favorite ship. They're my favorite. Least favorite pairing. There are so many to go on here. Most of them are fan pairings, which don't make much sense, like Firestar and Graystripe. No. Or, like, Shade with one of the cats that she killed. Like, no. No, like, just because they were close when she was pregnant doesn't mean... Anyway, so, least favorite pairing. I'm going to stick to the pairings from the book. So the least favorite pairing that is canon is probably Spotted Leaf and Thistleclaw. I know I'm supposed to hate that ship because, you know, it's got some problematic undertones, and it just ruins some characters. Favorite friendship. This is difficult because I have to think of friendships and not actual, like, ships. I think Graystripe and Firestar had a great friendship. I really liked the Ravenpaw, Graystripe, and Firestar. You know, that friendship. The favorite moment. I already went into it a bit in the previous questions, but I love when Blue Star dies. That sounds awful. Oh well. I like her whole arc of being aggressive and just, you know, falling into this mental illness, thinking that her clan is out to get her. She's just in a state of paranoia, and, you know, she actually dies on an uplifting note because she saves Fireheart because she realizes that he's been loyal to her, and she finally gets some closure on her kits too, and she gets to go to StarClan. And I think that her arc was, like, beautiful in the whole little section. And then we get Fireheart turning into Firestar, you know, like, that whole part. I loved it. Most tragic death. Blue Star's was sad, but not the most tragic. There's a lot of them, like, Snowkit, I think, was tragic, and, the Maple Shade's 3 kits, I hated that. Or Crooked Star's wife, not the wife, don't say wife, Crooked Star's mate and his kits, ugh. A lot of them were really tragic. But I think that was the point. But I think that the death that impacted me the most was Spotted Leaf's, the second time. Just because it made me so upset, I had to stop reading. Like, that usually doesn't happen. That only ever happened when I was reading Harry Potter, the 7th book, where Fred dies. Spoiler, but yeah. Favorite battle, it's Blood Clan. The Blood Clan battle. It was just so spectacular. I mean, the Bone Shatter A and B might also have something to do with my choice here, but it was just such an epic way to wrap everything up. It was like the perfect climax to the first arc. Alright, that's it for 20 questions. Like I said, I will redo this after I read the next books. Don't expect that anytime soon, though, because I'm not planning on reading them, and I don't even have access to them right now, because the libraries are closed. So, I nominate Lavender AA and Animator Irene, sorry if I said your names wrong, to do the Warrior Cats 20 questions. They're animators on here, and they deserve more love. They don't have to, but it would be pretty sick if they did. Alright, take it easy, I love you, and goodbye.